All right, today we're going to tackle a concept that can, and I mean this, single-handedly transform total chaos into complete clarity in your data world. We're talking about SQL views and how they help you finally tame that data labyrinth. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt completely lost in a maze of data? You know the information you need is in there somewhere, but it's scattered across all these different tables, tangled together like a giant knot. It's a struggle pretty much anyone who works with data knows all too well, and it's the exact problem we're going to solve today. We're calling this whole problem the data labyrinth. I want you to picture trying to find one specific box in a massive, disorganized warehouse with no map. That's exactly what it feels like to write queries against raw data tables. You're just navigating pure chaos to get what should be a simple answer. And this daily struggle, oh, it is real. You're juggling all these sprawling tables, which forces you to write these monster queries that are 100 lines long. And what's worse, you find yourself writing the same complex logic over and over and over again. And every time you do that, you're just opening the door for really frustrating errors and inconsistencies. It's not efficient, and it's definitely not sustainable. But what if I told you there's a better way? The solution isn't to try and reorganize the entire warehouse, which would be impossible. No, it's about creating a custom window, a window that lets you see exactly what you need, perfectly arranged every single time. It's kind of like having a magic window into your data. And that magic window, that elegant, simple solution to all this complexity, well, it has a name. It's called a SQL view. So what is a SQL view really? Okay, think of it as a virtual table. Yeah, it's got rows and columns. It looks and feels just like a real table. But, and this is the most important part, it doesn't actually store any data. Instead, it's just a saved query. It's a set of instructions that you've stored in the database. So how does this whole thing actually work? Let's pull back the curtain for a second and look at the simple but honestly brilliant mechanics behind how a view operates. Okay, here's the absolute core difference. A real table, that's like a warehouse full of actual physical boxes. It stores the data. It takes up a lot of storage space. A SQL view, on the other hand, is just the blueprint. It doesn't hold any of the boxes itself, it just holds the instructions, the query, that tells you where to find and how to arrange those boxes. So it takes up almost no space at all. The workflow is so powerful because it's so simple. It's just 3 steps. First, you define once. You write that messy, complex query just one time. Get it perfect. Then, step 2, you save forever. You store that logic as a named view. And from that moment on, you get to query simply. You access all of that perfectly structured data with a super clean, simple query to the view itself, not those original tangled tables. So in the end, the view just becomes your custom lens. It automatically filters out all the noise and chaos from the warehouse, and it presents you with only the information you care about, exactly how you need to see it. Okay, so that's the what and the how. But why does this really matter for you in your day-to-day work? Well, let's break down the 3 big benefits that make SQL views an absolutely essential tool for anyone working with data. First and foremost, simplicity. It's just that simple. A view lets you hide all that underlying complexity. You do the really hard work one time so that everyone else on your team can get the data they need easily from then on. The second major benefit is security. And this one is huge. It's so powerful. You can control exactly what columns and rows people can see without ever giving them access to the sensitive underlying tables. And finally, consistency. You know that problem where marketing and sales pull the same report but get different numbers? Well, by defining your business logic in one single place, the view, you guarantee that every person and every report is using the exact same calculations, every time. So let's talk about the real payoff here. For simplicity, we're talking about turning a 100-line monster query into a clean, single line. For security, you can grant a user access to a view that shows customer names and orders, but hides sensitive columns like their home address from the underlying tables. And for consistency, you put your official total revenue calculation in one view, and then you can guarantee that the finance and marketing reports will never be out of sync again. When you put all these benefits together, simplicity, security, consistency, you're doing something really fundamental. You're simplifying your entire data world by using a really powerful computer science principle known as abstraction. If you only remember one single thing from this whole explainer, please let it be this. SQL Views are a tool for abstraction. They let you build simple, clean, useful interfaces on top of incredibly complex systems. You hide all the messy details and provide a powerful but easy way for anyone to interact with your data. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. The greatest power, the real game changer in data, isn't always about the complex hunt to find it. It's about creating simple, elegant ways for people to access it. So the question I'll leave you with is, what labyrinth in your own data could you tame with a view?